Syed. I'm a Salesforce solution architect working for a life science company. And today we're going to talk about a use case where we can sync a lead from one org to another org, right? Where, when a company has more than one Salesforce org, because of their global or regional setup, and their need to sync their lead from one region to another. In this case, you can sign up for the DevOps. So right now I have two DevOps, DevOps A and DevOps B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the OAuth and the Apex class and trigger on DevOps A, and then I'm going to create Apex class over here and a connected app on DevOps B so that I can receive the lead. You can see right now there are the standard leads that are there. Same here. Right? Same here as well. So first and foremost, what do we need? As I was saying, the prerequisites to sync two leads is first you need to have a connect app and the org B. Then we need to have a auth on org A. Then we need to have name credentials. And also I'm looking at creating a error log. It's a custom object that would capture any errors or successes. So let's get started. So what I need to do is I need to go to org A. Well, let's call this org A. Setup. Object manager. Lead. Just dismiss this. As you can see, I have all the standard fields here. I'm going to create a new field. This is going to be of text. Get a type. And I'm going to call it external ID. The length is going to be 25. Now, this has got to be an external ID and it has to be unique. You can leave this or you can check this, doesn't matter. Let's not make it required, otherwise you'll have issues. So let me save this. Go to next. I'll say all. Next. I'll save it. Make sure this is visible. There it is. Now let's go ahead and create the error log object. The label is going to be error log. Error logs. Data type. Text. Description. This system object. Some space. Errors are allow reporting. Remove this cat. Now, let's go and create the fields. The first field is going to be response status. This is going to be number. Okay. Next. Next. Save a new. And this is going to be response text. So we can see what is the response, right? I'm going to call it response message. The length is going to be, and on second thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it long text, because sometimes the message can be long. And let's give it the length. Save a new. Then we have another one, long text area. This is called API error. Okay. Go next. Next is going to be a simple text. This is just to capture the name of the interface. By the way, you can use this error log to capture any interfaces that you have, right? Save. And then next is record ID. This is 25. This is to capture the record ID. Save. Now we've created all the fields that we require. Okay. So now let's go to org. Let me close these. Now I'm going to go to org A. We've created, we are in org A. All the errors are here. So I will check. Yes, everything is here. So now we have to create an external field in org B, right? Because we want to move whatever data is here to a field here in org B. So let's go object manager, lead, fields and relationship, and we'll create a new field. Let me dismiss this. We create a field similar to what we have in org A. Let's call it external ID. So just so that we don't get confused, I'm going to create this as external ID, right, with a different name, so that when we are passing the data, we don't get confused. And again, this also has to be unique. I'll make it external. I'll make it unique. Check this. Next. All. Next. And then I'll save it. Now let's make sure the ID is created. The field is created. Yes. And we can see it on the layout. There you go. Now, we've got the field created. We've got the error log created. What do we do next? Now we need to create the connected app on org B. I'll search for app manager under setup. Right now I don't have any app here. I'm going to create a new app. Click on external client app, name and my email address. Right? And I'm going to say enable OAuth. For now, I'm just going to give https test.salesforce.com. We'll come back to this one. All right. For now, I'll just give all the access. Make sure these three are checked. All right. Now, this is important. When I click this, it's going to fire and it's going to give me consumer key and secret, which are super important. Looking at the code, we need to save this. All right, I'll keep this as is. Let me check everything is set as it is supposed to. All right, this looks good. So I think pretty much we are done on the setup for org B. Now let's go to org A. We need to create the auth setup, auth providers. Auth providers. We don't have any. Create new. So what are we trying to do? We're going to set it up with Salesforce, right? Because it's Salesforce to Salesforce. So I'm going to say Salesforce. The moment I do that, it's going to ask me for some details. So we're going to give it, naming should be easy to understand. So I'm going to say org-b auth provider. Now you see the consumer key and consumer secret. They are here. I'll copy. I'll paste the consumer key. Then I paste the consumer secret. You can put it on the pad as well if you want to refer it later. Now, authorization endpoint. This is very crucial. If you give a wrong one, it will not connect. So I'm going to give this as my endpoint. Let me just, it is the right one. So instead of, we should remove the lightning.force.com. Instead, you can put this one, right? So we are supposed to have, we should have authorize at the end. So I'll say authorize, and then I'll say, I'll enter with the token. And the default scope, should be full refresh token. So, and then we can save this. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to confirm, and then it's going to, Salesforce is going to give some configuration, right? And here you have a callback URL. So you copy this, and then you go back into your the connected app that you created. You see this I created for the placeholder. I'm going to replace this with this and save. We have everything set up. org-b looks good. Now let's look at, okay, we've got the OAuth. So let's go and create the named credentials that is going to use this OAuth to connect. I'm going to go with the new legacy and label. I'm going to give this, right? And the URL is going to be org-b's URL. Identity type is going to be named principal. Authentication protocol is going to be OAuth. When I say OAuth, it's going to ask me for the authentication provider. Over here, this is the one that we created, right? And you can see the authentication status is pending. You need to make sure this is checked. Generate authorization header. The moment I click on save, it's going to go, it's going to try and make sure it syncs, it tries and authenticate it, right? So before I go, I will also add the scope. It's going to try and authenticate. It's going to ask me to sign in to this org-b. which is good. It's now ask me to confirm. Allow access. I'll say allow. You can see here, I say confirm. Awesome. So you authenticated it. Everything looks good. So now let's check field we created in RB, remember? Honest mistake. No worries. Let's go back. Apex class. Go developer console. I like using developer console. It's easier. The name of the class is going to be lead sync API. Okay. I will pull the class that I saved. Hopefully there should be no problems now. Save. All right. It is saved. Let's verify. Okay. It's in without any issues. Okay. So we've created this. Now we need to create a Apex class in ORG and a trigger in ORG. Okay. So let's go to ORG. Okay. Cancel. So now we need to create an outbound Apex class in ORG. It's a callout class. Basically this class is going to prepare the JSON payload, include the lead ID from ORG, make a call out to ORG using the name credentials that we created, and then it'll insert a record into the error log and run asynchronously using the future callout. So I will also share this Apex class as well. I go to developer console, new Apex class. This is going to be called lead sync API client. Okay. Let me copy it and I'm going to paste it here. Any issues? Let's save it. Close this. Refresh this. We should see, and here it is. And it did not save. Sometimes it happens. It does not save. I don't know for why. Then I come here and I save. I get an error. Let me see. Compiler field does not exist. Request _ C. Let me check. This means the field on the error log does not exist for the error log called request _ C. Let's verify that. Aha, it doesn't. So now let's go ahead and create a request. I'm just trying to see what type of field it was, if I remember correctly. Okay, new. It's going to be a long text area. Request. Next. Save. Now let's try quick save. Quick save. So it's saved without any issues. That's good. Now let's create a trigger because we need the trigger to fire whenever a new lead is created. There are no triggers here. Console again. Close. New trigger. Let's call it lead sync trigger. And then this is on the object lead. Let's look at the list. We should see lead. There it is. Okay, so we got it. Now let me copy the code for the lead trigger. You can see. Okay. Let us verify it is created. Open it up. Yes. So now we have the OAuth, we have the name credential, we have the Apex class. We have created the REST API and org.b, error log object, org.bound class, and the trigger. So on the org.a, let's go ahead and create a new lead. Okay. Before that, let's take a look at error log. Okay, error log is not visible because it does not have a tab. So we put tabs, new custom object tab, object, error log, choose any of this. Let's choose the wrench. Next. Move this over here. Yep. Next. And save. You can see now when I go here and search for error log, it should come up. Okay, I need to refresh. Let me refresh my screen. And now, there you go. So we have the error logs and we have all, nothing is here. Okay, so I'm going to close these tabs now. I'm going to close these tabs over here as well. So now we have leads here. We have leads here. All right. So today's leads, blank. Today's leads, blank. Okay. So I'm going to create a new lead now. Mr. James Bond, company MI6, email one at test. External ID is going to be blank. Lead is created. Let's refresh. There you go. We have the lead here. For details, the external ID is populated, and after I save it, it is actually populating the lead ID over here and then here. So if you have reports and then you want to match them, you can using these IDs. All right. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much for listening in. Have a good day. Bye. So once the lead is created, you can then go verify it on the error logs that we created. We can add more fields here, but for now you can take a look at the log. You can see it's captured the log ID. You have the response message, interface name, the lead ID, plus the request that was sent. So this is very helpful if you want to do reporting. You can, because this object is custom object, and we can build reports and then we can build dashboards. So you can do the same for other interfaces as well, and then you'll be able to monitor if there are any issues, right? I really appreciate everyone's time to listening in. Just to summarize, what we did is we created two dev orgs, org A and org B. In org B, we created a connected app and a REST API. And in org A, we created a custom object, we created custom field, then we created Auth providers, and then we created name credentials and then Apex class and trigger, via which we were able to successfully create a lead from one org to another org. Right? So it's a very easy sync of leads between orgs, and it has a very secure authentication as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.